Ever wondered why diesel cars are disappearing from our roads? It's a question that has puzzled many a car enthusiast and automotive historian alike. In today's video, we'll be exploring this intriguing mystery, venturing into the rich history of diesel cars, their rise to popularity, and the factors leading to their sudden disappearance. We'll be unlocking the secrets hidden under the hood and in the exhaust pipes of these once beloved vehicles. Let's dive into the history of diesel cars to understand this better. The tale of diesel cars begins in the late 19th century with an invention that would revolutionize transportation. In the heart of Germany, a young engineer named Rudolf Diesel was determined to create a more efficient engine. After countless trials and tribulations, Diesel finally patented his unique design in 1892. This was no ordinary engine. It was a marvel of engineering that relied on the simple principle of compression ignition, thus the birth of the diesel engine. Initially, the diesel engine was a far cry from the sleek, high-performance engines we see today. It was large, noisy, and not particularly suited for smaller vehicles. However, its robustness, fuel efficiency, and sheer power made it a perfect fit for commercial vehicles such as trucks, buses, and tractors. This was the primary domain of diesel for many decades to come. The early 20th century saw a steady rise in the demand for diesel engines in the commercial sector. Their superior fuel economy and durability made them an attractive proposition for businesses looking to optimize their operations. But it wasn't until the mid-20th century that diesel made its debut in passenger cars. Car manufacturers were beginning to see the potential of diesel engines in everyday vehicles. The promise of longer drives on a single tank of fuel, combined with the robustness of diesel engines, was an enticing proposition. Moreover, advancements in technology were starting to make diesel engines quieter, smoother, and more suitable for passenger cars. The 70s and 80s marked the golden era of diesel cars. The oil crisis during this period further drove the demand for diesel cars, as they offered better mileage compared to their petrol counterparts. From Europe to America, diesel cars were becoming increasingly popular. They were no longer just commercial workhorses but had become a part of the daily commute for millions of people around the globe. As the 20th century progressed, so did the fame of diesel cars. The story of diesel cars is one of innovation, adoption, and evolution, but as we'll see, it's also a story of challenges and change. From the 1970s to the early 2000s, diesel cars ruled the roads. This was a time when the rumble of a diesel engine was synonymous with power, endurance, and efficiency. Diesel cars were the kings of the highway, the titans of the trucking industry, and the heartthrobs of the hot rodders. But why, you ask? What made diesel so desirable? Well, the answer lies in the unique advantages that diesel engines offered. Firstly, diesel engines are known for their fuel economy. They burn less fuel than their gasoline counterparts due to their higher energy density. This meant that with diesel, you could go further on a single tank, making diesel cars the go-to choice for long-distance drivers and cost-conscious consumers. But it wasn't just the fuel economy that drew people to diesel. Diesel engines are built tough. They are designed to withstand higher compression ratios, and as a result, they tend to have a longer lifespan. This durability made diesel cars a popular choice for commercial vehicles and heavy-duty trucks. Moreover, diesel engines produce a substantial amount of torque. Torque, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the force that gets your car moving, and it's especially important for hauling heavy loads. This made diesel the preferred choice for pickup trucks, delivery vans, and other heavy-load vehicles. And let's not forget the allure of the diesel sound. That distinctive rumble was a badge of honor, a symbol of strength and power. It was the sound of a car that could go the distance, a car that could take on the toughest roads and come out victorious. So, there you have it. Fuel economy, durability, torque, and that unmistakable diesel rumble. These were the qualities that propelled diesel cars to the forefront of the automotive industry. But then, something changed. We'll delve into that in our next scene. Stay tuned as we navigate through the twists and turns of this diesel-driven saga. The reign of diesel cars started to wane in the 21st century. Just as the diesel vehicles were enjoying their heyday, a series of events began to unfold, marking the beginning of their downfall. Firstly, the environmental concerns. As the world grew more conscious about the health of our planet, the drawbacks of diesel engines came under scrutiny. Diesel cars, while fuel-efficient, were notorious for emitting high levels of nitrogen oxides and particulates, both hazardous to the environment and human health. Cities were cloaked in smog, respiratory ailments were on the rise, and the blame was pointed towards the black smoke belching out of diesel exhausts. Then came the emission scandals. In a shocking revelation, some of the biggest automobile manufacturers were found guilty of manipulating emission tests. The Dieselgate scandal, as it came to be known, was a severe blow to the reputation of diesel cars. It became evident that these vehicles were not as clean as they were made out to be. Trust was broken, sales plummeted, and diesel cars were viewed with a new skepticism. In the midst of this turmoil, a new player entered the scene: electric vehicles. These zero-emission vehicles promised a cleaner and more sustainable future. Governments around the world started promoting electric vehicles, offering incentives for buyers and planning infrastructure for their support. The automotive industry too began shifting its focus towards electric technology. The Tesla effect was in full swing, and the allure of electric cars was irresistible. The combination of environmental concerns, emission scandals, and the rise of electric vehicles created a perfect storm. Diesel cars, once the darling of the auto industry, were now being sidelined. Countries began announcing plans to phase out diesel and gasoline vehicles, car manufacturers started to drop diesel models from their lineups, and the public sentiment towards diesel took a nosedive. The future seemed bleak for diesel cars. The reign of diesel was coming to an end, and a new era was on the horizon. But as they say, every end is a new beginning, and the story of diesel cars is no exception. Today, diesel cars are becoming a rare sight. It's a sentence that might have seemed unbelievable a few decades ago, when diesel was the go-to fuel for a large number of vehicles. But times have changed, and so have our preferences and priorities. Today, the automotive landscape is vastly different. In the heart of bustling cities around the world, diesel cars are being pushed out. Several cities, including Paris, Madrid, Athens, and even Mexico City, have announced their plans to ban diesel cars by the mid-20s. This isn't just a small move, it's a major shift in policy that mirrors our changing attitudes towards the environment and sustainable living. This shift isn't just limited to policy changes, it's heavily influenced by consumer preference as well. The modern car buyer is more environmentally conscious than ever. They're looking for options that are not only efficient and reliable but also kinder to the planet. Diesel, with its reputation for producing more pollutants, simply doesn't make the cut anymore. The rise of electric cars has played a significant role in this shift. With their promise of zero emissions and increasingly affordable options, electric cars have become an attractive alternative to traditional fuel-powered vehicles. They're no longer the distant future, they're the present, and they're here to stay. Moreover, the automotive industry itself is responding to these changes. Car manufacturers are investing heavily in electric and hybrid technology, signaling a clear move away from diesel. Some manufacturers have even announced plans to phase out diesel cars entirely in the coming years. This doesn't mean that diesel cars will disappear overnight. There are still millions on the road, and they continue to serve a purpose. But the trend is clear. Diesel is on a downward trajectory, and it's unlikely to reverse. The journey of diesel cars has been a roller coaster ride. From being hailed as the fuel of the future, to facing bans and a loss of popularity, diesel has seen it all. As we move towards a more sustainable future, it's clear that diesel cars are becoming a part of our past, not our future. The journey of diesel cars has been a roller coaster ride. So what can we learn from the rise and fall of diesel cars? In the grand tapestry of automotive history, the journey of diesel cars is a fascinating thread. They emerged from the mists of the past, with the invention of the first diesel engine in the late 19th century. For a time, diesel cars dominated the market, beloved for their fuel efficiency and robust performance. But as the wheels of time turned, so did the fortunes of diesel. The seeds of downfall were sown with increasing awareness of environmental concerns and the impact of diesel emissions. Stringent emission norms, coupled with the rise of cleaner, more efficient technologies, began to chip away at the diesel dominance. The final blow was the shift in societal preferences. As people began to prioritize sustainability and environmental responsibility, the appeal of diesel cars waned. The advent of electric vehicles, with their promise of zero emissions and cutting-edge technology, further accelerated the disappearance of diesel cars. This narrative underscores the impact societal and technological changes can have on an industry. It's a testament to the dynamism of the automotive world, where innovation and adaptation are the keys to survival. The diesel saga teaches us that no technology, no matter how popular or efficient, is immune to the winds of change. As we look to the future, one thing is clear: the automotive industry is always evolving, and only time will tell what comes next.